You said you've been talking to the Scotland squad then, getting all of the gossip. How are they feeling? What's the sort of mood like in camp?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of excitement. Like you said, we've been counting down the World Cup since the last World Cup, and it's finally here, so that's very exciting. I think, the girls are just excited to get going. It's such a long build-up mentally, and, they've had the longest pre-season of their lives, going from, the Six Nations ending in end of April, May, and then it's just been pre-season since then. So I think they'll just be grateful that's over, and, excited to get stuck in. I think the last World Cup was 3 years ago now, and I think ever since then there's been a score to settle, I think, and they've want to make amends and also just show where they are now. I think the squad has come so far since the last World Cup, and they just want to go out and show it, I think.
Yeah. It's a huge first game as well, Scotland-Wales.
Oh, what doesn't get bigger for you, does it?
Like it's crazy. And like the last Six Nations game was quite epic. What's the vibe like going into the game of like, it's especially because at Bristol there's loads of Scottish players, loads of Wales players, so like playing against each other, so you kind of know each other as well. What is the vibe like amongst like the teammates of Scotland, and is there rivalries?
Yeah, there's definitely a rivalry, I think. It's always a big game. Like when they announced the pools for the World Cup, we were at Bristol in a team meeting, and they had it up on the board, and they announced the pools, and it was Scotland, and I was like, I'm Wales. I was like, oh, just a collective groan. I think we play each other so often. We'll play each other in Six Nations. There's always a warm-up game. There's a summer test. We know each other inside and out, I think, and that is what makes it such a good game. Like the Scottish girls know how to defend the Welsh attack, and the Welsh girls know how to beat the Scottish attack, and it just means that each team really has to step up for that game. And I think the fans get really involved, and it's a big game, and I think the girls understand that, but it's also trying not to let that take over and not get carried away with the emotional side of it.
This is what I was going to ask, because obviously when you're starting the competition with a game that's that big and the rivalry is that big, but it's also an important game, isn't it, given the group that you're in? Is that a good thing or is that a bad thing?
Yeah, I think it's a mix. Like the girls will definitely get built up for it, excited. They're gonna go into the tournament with a clear mindset of we're going to win this game, and then we'll move on from there. And like I said, I think it's the emotional side, trying not to let that take control. But I think it's a great way to start. And the last World Cup was, of course, Scotland-Wales' first game, and Ciara Bevan, the kick haunts me still. The last play of the game, she got that penalty, and I think the girls will want to, on the one hand, want to get their own back for that, but also it's been 3 years. They've moved on, as much as I might not have meant to, but they've moved on, and the focus is beat Wales on the day, and I think they'll go in with a lot of confidence. I think it's maybe they've got a 3-game winning streak against the Welsh at the moment, and they'll be feeling confident. What
way do you see this going?
Yeah, it's going to be tight. I think all the games, I'm sure like the last 10 games is the cumulative score is like within a couple of points within the last 10 games. So it's going to be a close one. I do think the Scots have got it. I'm backing them all the way.
And you're an England fan, right? Which way do you see this one going then? As an impartial viewpoint?
Impartial, yes, but my coach is actually Beth Blacklock.
Of course.
So I have to be, if I want to be selected, I want Scotland to win. So, the Scotland outfit looks absolutely amazing as well. And I think that it's a very exciting time for the Scottish team. And I do hope that I see them coming out of the pool stages, hopefully. So I'm Team Scotland on this one, but I'm backing Wales. I don't know.
Because I'm half Welsh. I've grown up with a Welsh dad that's told me that I can only support Wales. So I'm sorry, I'm with Wales. Okay, I'm on my own. I'm on the Welsh side over here. Even though you're wearing red.
I am wearing red. And my mum was born in Cardiff, so I'm kind of Welsh. She lasted 2 days there. But
she lasted.
So I'm kind of Welsh. But Team Scotland. Yeah. So
It is a tough group though, really, when you look at it. You've got Canada, Fiji. So how important is this game in terms of, it's a must win really, right? Because I think a lot of people are expecting Canada to top the group, and then a lot of people are expecting Wales and Scotland to beat Fiji.
Yeah, I think every game will be they'll be looking at it as a must-win. I think they'll be confident for every game. You know, Canada have done really well recently, but we've played them a couple of times in the past, and it's been some close games. And yeah, I think the Scots will still back themselves, but yeah, every game is important. And I think a lot of people see the Welsh game as that's going to tip. If they can win that, they'll go on with such confidence into that Fiji game and then into the Canada game. And I think if they lose that, it's going to be difficult because they'll need to beat Canada, which again I think they can, but it's a tougher ask, I think. So yeah, but again, they can't really take any game for granted because Fiji, they play amazing rugby, and like the last World Cup they played against England and they were scoring tries for fun. I think they were one of the only teams that actually scored against England.
That's a good point. A lot of people sort of dismiss Fiji in this group actually, but you've made a brilliant point.
Yeah, and we played them last year, I think, in a warm-up game, and it's hard work. They're just such athletes, and like you drop a ball and they're picking up, running it in 60 meters. Like there's no room for errors, so I don't think you can take Fiji for granted at all.
It's going to be so tight. What are Scotland's expectations then at this World Cup?
I think they'll be going in with the goal is to get out of the group. I think for sure they want to play knockout rugby, and I think that's definitely what they expect. I think it's the aim, but also it's an expectation at this point. You know, they've played some really good rugby in the last couple of years, and they'll be excited going into it. If they don't make it out of the pool, it'll be a disappointing World Cup. But I think, a quarter-final, I think it works out. If they come second, they get probably going to end up with England in a quarter-final, which would be a big game.
That would be fun to go to, though.
But yeah, so I think they'll be aiming to top the pool, maybe meet England in a semi-final or a final. But yeah, I think there's a lot of confidence, and I think they can go out and do it for sure.